And introducing Adelajda Child, a certified PSYCH-K instructor renowned for her transformative work in helping individuals overcome subconscious barriers to achieve their life and health goals. With extensive training across basic, advanced, master, and health and well-being levels, Adelaya empowers her clients to change self-limiting beliefs, release stress, and transform traumatic experiences. Her passion lies in guiding others to attract success, improve health, and attain a higher level of life satisfaction. So join us today as we delve into her journey and explore the profound impact of PSYCH-K on trauma healing and personal growth. So welcome to the show, Adelaya. So great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Anu, for having me. Hi, everyone. This is such a pleasure to be here.
An honor, yeah. So Adelaya, it'd be great for you to share a bit about your own journey and,
Mm.
what led you to discover Psych K and, how it actually helped to transform your own life.
So it's all started in 2010 when I found myself living with my parents again. I was about 27 years old and I was broke and broken, burned out. And after I just broke up with another boyfriend, so I came out from another toxic relationship. And the only way to build up my life back was go back and live with my parents again. So here, this is the beginning of the journey. So I was lucky enough that my parents had this extra room where I could just recover. And by recover meant to just stop doing what I was doing and asking myself what has happened. How did I end up here? Because I thought I was doing the right thing. I graduated private school, private college in banking and finances. I worked in a corporate world in international company as a sales manager, and yet I wasn't happy. And instead of, stopping at that time and asking myself, what can I do to become happy? The universe had other plans for me. The universe basically said, hey, if you're not going to make changes, I will make you do them. Yeah, I lost my job. I broke up with a boyfriend and I started to live with my parents. That was the turning point for me because I asked myself, what happened? And I could not find this answer until I opened the first book. And maybe it's a cliche, but it's called Awakening by Anthony D'Ambelo, where he basically says you create your own reality. And to me, it was completely new. And I was completely angry at that. Like, what do you mean? I created it? So I actually put myself into the victim position. I was helpless and I was showing that by judging everything and everyone, but not myself.
Mm,
Right. And actually, after my anger went away, I said, well, so if I created this undesirable reality, I can recreate it, right? If this is what they tell me, I create this. So let me take my power back. Okay. Now, how do I recreate this reality? And this is where first another book came to me, which was biography of Yogananda, and I could learn meditation, and I started to quiet my monkey mind that was just giving me thousand thoughts on a minute and an anxiety and depression. So that helped me to really center it myself. And once I centered myself and quieted my mind, I was able to move further, start working at, actually, I found a job that excited me, and that was completely different. And I became personal trainer. But I loved it. I did not realize how much I loved working with other people instead of in a corporate job and sitting in front of the computer 8 hours a day.
mhm.
And I was able to work my body, and when I was a personal trainer, help others to become fit. However, I could still see that not only me, but also my clients were hitting that invisible wall. That and at first it was like procrastination or excuses not to do the work, but it was not one person. It was most people that I worked with, and I was actually myself, because every time I tried to change something, it was, I will do it tomorrow, on
Mm.
Monday, right? I know you resonate with this, and many of our your listeners and people who are listening to us as well. So I started to dig deeper. I started to look for answers. What holds us back from making the change and shift? What holds us back from shifting our emotions and thoughts? And this journey brought me to learning about subconscious mind
Yeah. Amazing.
and what subconscious mind is. And one of those most important functions of the subconscious mind that actually it stores all of our emotions, stores all of our values and beliefs. And when we are able to change those emotions and beliefs, then we are able to truly shift our lives. So the challenge was that the subconscious mind actually is much more powerful than a conscious mind. And I learned that from reading books on neuroscience, and I went into really science about the subconscious mind. And I've learned that we are programming ourselves from the moment we were conceived. So also being in our mother's womb. So it was fascinating. I was so fascinating with this work. And I became a life coach and a health coach. And I even learned how to do how auto hypnosis, which we know hypnosis works strictly with the subconscious mind. But it was this work that took some time, and you still had to repeat everything. And my journey took me into the world of Psyche, and that was the first time when I heard about Psyche was from Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Okay.
Yeah, and his book, Biology of Belief, and this is where he actually introduces his work and his discoveries. Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he is amazing personality and scientist. He worked many years on there was many different universities, but one of them was the Stanford University, and this is where he was doing his research on the cells. And then he discovered that we are not the victims of our genes.
Mm.
We are the only the only victims we are of. It's our own beliefs or our perceptions about the world. And this is amazing book. So if anyone is interested in the science part, Biology of Belief is a wonderful book. And this is where I took my first, after that, I took my first workshop. And after my first workshop, there was no turning back,
Wow.
because not only I shifted my own emotions, undesired emotions, my sadness, anger, shame, guilt, and I became truly peaceful. But also, I changed my limiting beliefs about myself and about the world and about who I was. I truly fell in love with myself, and I found this amazing joy, because it doesn't it just takes so much as much energy to be angry as to be peaceful and happy. So this is the short story, I mean long story short of
Fantastic.
it. But I'm psych instructor since 2021. I learned that modality in 2016, and then my life changed, and life of my clients changed dramatically as well. So I never to look back.
No,
Yeah.
amazing. So thank you for sharing that. What a journey. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to ask, so for those who may be unfamiliar with Psych-K, how
Yeah.
would you describe it and its core principles?
Mm. I would call it a spiritual process with psychological benefits.
Okay.
So, what does that mean? When we are more peaceful in our lives, we start to have better intuition.
Mm,
When we start to have better intuition, we start making better choices. When we start having making better choices, we start having better life. Because what is the problem most of the time that we're just taking the same actions, making the same mistakes or similar mistakes. It's like we are hamsters on that hamster wheel, right? But the moment we shift ourselves, with the moment we make a different decision, we have a different outcome. So, in the most simple way, Psyche will help you to rewrite the blueprint of your life so you have completely different outcome and the outcome that you are actually choosing for yourself. Mhm.
interesting. Thank you. Yeah. And so,
Ah.
in terms of actual, like you said about shifting subconscious beliefs, like, do you have any examples of how shifting subconscious beliefs can actually aid in trauma recovery?
Mm. Thank you for asking that. So, because subconscious mind has a function of our long-term memory, that means everything that has happened to us, it's stored in the subconscious mind. Now, every time we think about old trauma or old stress, it's like we are reliving it here and now.
Mhm.
There's no difference for the subconscious mind if something happened 20 years ago, if we still have an emotional charge. So, what Psyche will do, well, it will help you to take that emotional charge and change it into state of peace. So when you will think about this basically story now, it won't be any more stressful or traumatic. Because usually when something happens to us and it's stressful, then next time when we encounter a similar situation, we go into state of fight or flight, right?
Mhm.
And so it just reminds us of that situation that has happened. Even sometimes we don't have a conscious knowledge of it anymore. We call it triggers.
Mhm.
But the truth is it's triggering something that happened a long time ago. So I will tell you an example. I had a client and she had this terrible fear of water. She said, "Well, it really bothers me because now we want to go for a vacation with the kids, and when I think about even going to Hawaii, which is an amazing place, and spending time in the water or seeing my kids being in the water, it's just so stressful." So when we started to use Psyche, when we use Psyche, we call it balance. The tool is called balance. She was able not only to transform that fear into state of complete peace, but she was able to actually remember what has happened. And she was even really surprised about the outcome because the moment she finished this process, she says, I remembered what happened and why I had this terrible fear of water. And she remembered when she was 6 years old and she was walking with her best friend next to the lake and they found a body in the water. This was traumatic. It was terrible. And
Yeah.
it happened for about 30, 40 years ago. And she forgot about this on a conscious level. And the only reminder for her was when she was seeing a huge water, like lake, ocean. And she said, I cannot explain why, but I just don't want to be near to it. So she was able to rewrite this and just enjoy her vacation. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that. And so how, like, what's the actual process? Like, is it similar to hypnosis?
Um, no, it's not because with hypnosis, you're not really aware what is happening with you, and it's the other person that is working with you. So with Psyche, there are two ways. You can work with a facilitator who knows the process and it will lead you through it, and you're still aware of this process. It's a sitting position. You exactly know what you're doing. It takes few minutes to few seconds to go through this process. It's something that you will be led through. And you can do it with yourself, also at home. And you find a quiet space where you can go through simple steps. We call them processes, where you are able to connect with your subconscious mind and check if you have this subconscious stress, then allow yourself to go through the process. And after that, you can also test with yourself if this process is complete. And what we do, we are using the set of whole brain movements. We are using the set of different muscle testing, and it's a wonderful process that anybody can use on their own as well if they learn that during the workshop.
Amazing. Wow.
Mhm.
Sounds fascinating. And so,
Ah.
yeah, so in terms of like your own work, so what are the
Mhm.
common self-limiting beliefs that you encounter and how do they actually impact your clients?
Okay. So for me, a huge one was perfectionism.
We know
And
that one.
well, there you go. And so every time I would do something, the moment I would finish this and I would start thinking about it. Oh, this was not good enough. I have to change that. I have to shift that. I was double guessing myself all the time, and it was exhausting. It was
Mm, it
exhausting,
is.
right? Because, right? I know the moment you do something, you immediately criticize yourself for doing it wrong, right?
Sabotaging, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, how else could you experience perfectionism?
Oh my goodness. It's just, yeah, like you said, it's just everyday tasks. Nothing's ever good enough, is it? And so you put so much pressure on yourself and then you burn out. It leads to a
Mhm.
lot of mental health issues, and which I guess, the way to overcome that in my eyes would be gratitude, be grateful for how, what you've done and be grateful for how far you've come in life. And whatever you do, just be grateful that you're able to do that, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but easier said than done, right?
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
you can be grateful and still feel that pressure and still feel that feeling. And it's just that the willpower, it's just so hard to obtain and do. So what Psyche helped me to do is to change that limiting belief, and I shifted into what I do is good enough.
Brilliant.
Whoa, and that helped me to take care of that pressure. And once the pressure was gone, then I was able to relax, or I was able to allowing myself to relax, because again, perfectionist, like you can't relax. You have to be doing, 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 right? If you're
Yeah.
not doing something, you're not worthy.
Mm.
Mm. Okay, so now we have like not good enough, not worthy, didn't work hard enough, and so on.
Yeah. Wow. There's
So
loads.
let's think about once you feel that you're worthy, once you feel and understand that what you do it's good enough, and understanding that you're always doing your best, even when you have this maybe not the best day, but it's still the best you can do with the amount of energy you have. How would
True.
that feel to knowing that you always do your best, no matter how.
Yeah. It would change people's lives because yeah,
Yeah,
because
exactly. And so that changed my life so profoundly. The
yeah,
moment I did something, I went and I was able to relax and not thinking about what I just messed up or why it wasn't not good enough. So this whole pressure went away. I was able to finally live, finally enjoy myself. And it was as simple as just changing those beliefs, changing this pressure, taking this pressure away. And I just become happy with who I was and what I was doing. Yeah.
and how long would that normally take a client to achieve?
It's person by person, because it's not just one belief or not one feeling that we're feeling. Usually the personality that we would like to shift. So
True.
depending what, right? So depending what do you believe about yourself, what you don't believe about yourself,
Mm,
what has happened to you in the past that you actually thinking that you have to be perfect? Let's talk about that.
mm,
So it's a journey. It's a journey. It's a journey that helps us to not only find out who we are or who we're not,
mm,
but so I would say here's the thing. When somebody works with me, it's just a several sessions. Sometimes one session, sometimes a few sessions, but it's not like months and months and months. It's way faster
Therapy.
than exactly. And when somebody learns this modality for themselves,
Mm,
even if they do 5 to 10 minutes of work a day,
yeah.
they already can feel shifts after that 10 minutes a day. So it's like I joke like do the 10% of work here and then you will experience 90% of shift because that this is what we want to do. We want to live. We don't want to right sit all the time and meditate and repeat affirmations and repeat those beliefs out loud over and over and the sticky notes everywhere. Right? No, we just want to have fun and live. So the psyche process is much faster and shorter, and then you're able to enjoy who you are. So the new you, the best and the biggest potential that you are, you can experience that during the day, which is really amazing.
It is, absolutely. And so, like, I'm also seeing a link to your limiting beliefs and stress and anxiety.
Mhm.
I just feel like there's a major link. Is it the same method that you'd use for like to manage stress and anxiety with your
Yes.
clients? Is it?
Yes, it's exactly the same process. Because I always ask my client, what do you stress about?
Mm,
What is the anxiety? Because it's such a huge subject, right? And so the moment we start to make list, okay, this is what I worry about. What do you worry about? My family, my finances,
mm,
future, okay, my health. And so, okay, well, let's talk about your finances. What do you worry about? Well, I stress that I don't have enough. Okay, well, let's help you with that stress. Let's help you to bring that to peace and non-attachment. And so once they shift that, then I always say, well, now you're updated version of yourself. What else do you think there is that you could shift about your thinking when it comes to your finances? And we're going to work so long during the session until they say, oh my gosh, oh, I feel so much better. Because the way we think about our life or our challenges gives us that anxiety. And the moment we shift that thinking, then our body is able to relax and calm down. And then we can see the world from completely different perspective and have this energy
True.
to, yeah, right, to use
Yeah.
to have fun with our kids
Yeah.
and be the best version of ourselves, be the best moms we can be, and be there fully instead of just like be there, but with our mind we're somewhere else, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
what I find as well, when you're just constantly doing, just
Mm-hmm.
having like half an hour to just totally relax, which is hard to do as moms and it's hard to do as trauma
Yeah.
survivors because we're always thinking of the past or worried about the
Yeah.
future. And
Yeah.
so, but just having half an hour to just totally relax. Oh my God, it absolutely can transform you anyway. But it's hard to do, which is why, sometimes it's good to be with like somebody like yourself, to because what you're doing, it's ultimately like it's helping to regulate their nervous system, isn't it? It's helping them to really relax and to really look at life a totally different way. So yeah.
Okay, you say half an hour. How about take it and be this way throughout your whole day. How would that feel? That would
Exactly.
be amazing, right? So that's why what happens is it's our conscious mind that goes always to the past or always to the future. And what happens is when we have a negative thought, which is probably most of them,
Mm,
our subconscious mind reacts appropriately because our subconscious mind is also regulating our nervous system. And so what happens is that our subconscious mind does not have this ability to understand abstract, which are our thoughts.
mm,
So when we think about something in the future or in the past, and
mm,
it is stressful to us, our subconscious mind thinks like it's happening for real here and now. So that's why it turns on our stress of our fight or flight. This is that part that I told you that I went on a really rabbit hole in the neuroscience part because it was fascinating.
wow.
So understanding that the subconscious mind is always here and now is really crucial because if you're going to go with your conscious mind to the future or to the past and it's stressful to your subconscious mind, you're immediately in a stress because it doesn't get that you are thinking abstractly. You're basically, it's your imagination, right? And I mean, there is no imagination for your subconscious mind. For the subconscious mind is here and now. So if you're thinking about something that is from the past and you're still emotionally charged, especially with a trauma, your subconscious mind will say, hey, we are right now reliving that trauma.
Mm,
And so, yeah, and so that's why this is where Psyche truly helped me and my clients to take care of this past and the future fears. And the moment you don't have any charge on them, you're here and now.
mm.
And
Yeah,
your nervous system is regulated because you are here and now. And as we know, here and now is the only moment we have.
it is. Yeah, absolutely.
And but here's the thing, Anu, and that's the last thing about that. The biggest pain for our mind is unresolved trauma and stress, right?
It
And
is.
it and it's going to try to resolve it by just going back and thinking about what else could I do? What else could happen, right? And just overthinking. But also, what we're doing, if we're not able to discharge that electrical charge of emotion, is we just reliving that trauma over and over again. And that's exhausting.
It is. And
Uh,
what I'm finding as well, so many people, they're not even aware of that, and it's so hard
yeah.
to get people to understand that who aren't really on this journey.
Hmm.
And even though we see it, it's easy for us to see and for us to identify, but then to explain that to people, yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing here. That's what you're doing with your show. We are here to educate people on their journey, right? Because it is a journey. It is this incredible journey of finding out who we are or who we are not.
Mm, true.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we just guiding them and like, hey, I've been there. I went through this pain. I
Mm,
know how it feels. And I am a few steps in front of you, and I'm gonna give you my hand, and it's your choice to try to, follow my steps and see if it works for you because
mm.
it worked for me, right?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Very inspirational. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And so are your sessions like, are they 1 hour long, or do you actually do workshops and days?
Yeah, so I do workshops and I do sessions. I
Mm,
do sessions for people who would like to try this method. And it's online, so it's wonderful because I work with people from all around the world. And also, I do workshops. I do workshops online and workshops in person. And I always invite my clients to come and join the workshop because truly they don't need me to help themselves to rewrite those limiting beliefs and stress. I will show them and I will help them to move forward if they need that. But truly, after the workshop, they're doing this amazing work on their own. And this is an amazing tool to have just in your pocket because there's a one thing to resolve your stress and trauma, but life happens, right? And stress happens. And so having a tool that you can bring everywhere in the world, everywhere with you is just incredible. And so I always encourage everyone to learn this beautiful modality, which is not new modality. It's with us more than 36 years. It was created in the United States by licensed marriage therapist Rob Williams, and it was tested and it is proven method. It's we are teaching this method in more than 40 countries in the world. It's translated into more than 16 languages in the world. So it's nothing new. It's actually something that has been with us for a long time. Yeah.
Thank you. And so, are there any simple exercises or mindset shifts that my listeners can start implementing today?
I would say start being aware of your self-negative talk. I call it your annoying roommate, but it's in your head, right?
Annoying. I love that.
Annoying is that roommate who will tell you like, no, you cannot do that. Oh no, you're not good enough, right? Or you right. And so it's like, well, wait, what? Because who it is, it's your limiting beliefs.
Yeah, it
And
is.
once you start writing it down, you're starting to be more aware of it, more aware of what you're repeating to yourself. Like I was repeating to myself every time I saw something fun, I would say, I cannot afford it. And I was like, oh my gosh, the moment I realized that I repeat this mantra, of course,
Yeah.
I create my own reality. So the universe says, yeah, yeah, sure. You don't want to afford it, be able to afford it. I will give you that experience. So the moment I shifted that, or I was aware of that, I was saying different mantra to myself, and my life started to change as well.
I
And
can afford it. I can afford anything I want.
exactly. And I will just come back for it later. That was like, because I was like, maybe that's so true. But if I say, and I come back for it later, that was like, oh yeah, totally.
Oh, that's a fantastic example. And the amount of people that I I hear say that on a daily basis. Oh, I can't afford it. It's like, oh, come
Don't
on.
say that. But that's
Yeah.
right. Not only that roommate talks to you, but now you repeat what this she's telling you. Like you can't afford it.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's just like a domino effect. So,
Mhm.
which is why self-talk and who we hang out with on a daily basis is really important, you know?
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's very important. Are we hanging out with people who are uplifting us or people who are complainers and they thrive on drama and they thrive on gossip and then thrive of this low energy that is jealousy and shame and so it's like you don't want to be there on like that was one of my things as well. Like I hang out only with cool people, fun people, and people who are positive and smart and inspiring. So I that was one of my journeys as well because I found myself being in the relationships, not only romantic relationships that were super toxic and
Yeah.
first it was like, oh, this is just coincident. And then a second one, a third one. And I was like, oh, that's me. I'm attracting
Yeah.
these relationships. And the same with my friends. I was the one who was attracting them because I was doing exactly the same. I was this negative person that was just I wasn't fun. So what Psyche helped me was just to fall in love with myself again and just create amazing relationships and not only romantic but beautiful deep friendships and circle of friends. So that was really beautiful experience for
Wow.
myself as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. You created an amazing new life for yourself. Yeah. I
I did because I create my reality.
yeah, exactly.
We all create our reality and we then co-create them, right? With others.
We can.
Yeah. Hmm.
Absolutely. Delaya, I've really loved having you on. Your energy is so endearing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anno. Such a pleasure to be here and to talk to you about our journeys.
Thank you. And so, where can my listeners find you?
So the easiest way to find me is on my website. It's adachild.com or Instagram as well. But I think website is the best because then you can find all the links to all my social media and um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
amazing. So, my listeners, go check out adachild.com and go onto her socials, some fantastic content there that you don't want to miss, and learn all about letting go of limiting beliefs and rewiring your brain and your subconscious thinking because we are our words and we need to make sure that they are positive and uplifting us and not bringing us down. So you gotta listen to Adelia. She knows what she's talking about.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So that's all we have time for today, my beautiful people. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please do get in touch with any questions. And I'm sure Adelia would love to hear from you as well. Until next time, take care, my friends.